Alright, so welcome to the next PropertyLimBrothers landed home tour. Today we are in the very famous Simpang Bedok. This is D16 within the region of the Tanah Merah MRT station, and that is a walking distance that a lot of landed owners will want to have. I'm bringing you to a 2-story Inter-Terrace that's freehold in status. Let's go. Alright, so from where I'm standing right now, just towards that distance, you just need to take about a 7 minutes walk. You can see this high-rise condo called The Glades, and that is where the Tanah Merah MRT station is located. This is great for a lot of landed homeowners because sometimes living too deep into a landed enclave is one of the key concerns that a lot of landed buyers have shared with us. And I need to bring you towards the 4 categorization that we've always been talking about. Cat 1 belongs to homes that once you purchase, they're either single story or 1.5 story or maybe a 2-story home, but that belongs to homes that was constructed about 30 years back. Have to tear them down, rebuild or do a full-on reconstruction. Cat 2 categories homes are usually homes that comprise of perhaps $1 million to $1 million A&A costing. These are usually homes that are about 20 odd years old. Cat 3 homes will be homes that are below 15 years, and usually these are homes that will need you to pump in at least about $150 per square foot. Most of the time reserve about 500 to 600 grand to do a full-on renovation once you purchase the Cat 3 home. Now, Cat 4 homes will be homes that comes directly from developers. And take note that in Singapore, there are no more new land plots that governments are introducing, unlike for condominiums, whereby the landed inventory in Singapore is only approximately about 73,000, comprising of 99 years, 999s and freehold status in conjunction. And every time you want to hunt for a Cat 4 home, you can only go for homes that developers purchase offhand from the resale market. Usually they'll buy a big old land, tear them down, subdivide, build probably about 3 to 5 landed homes for sale in the market. Now, this home that I'm standing in right now, this belongs to Cat 3.5 home. Our clients bought this in 2018. After tearing down and rebuilding them, this was TOP'd approximately about 2020. So this is currently about 2 odd years at this point of filming. So this is important for you to distinguish between hunting for a Cat 1 or Cat 4 home, because the key distinction will be whether do you have time to sit down with your architect over the next 18 to 24 months to design the home that you want to have. That includes VCA submission, a lot of time of selecting of materials. It also includes your rental period that you might want to allocate. Probably set aside at least about 6,000 to 8,000 per month in terms of rental costing for the next 24 months, and of course that will be close to about $200,000 of rental costing. Last but not least will be the construction cost, about $350 to $450 depending on the kind of materials that you want to have. If you want to build up at least 4,000 square feet, multiply by $450 per square foot, that will bring you to about $1.8 million of rebuild costs. If you want to buy time, then hunt for something in the Cat 4 like this one, because after purchase, within 3.5 months, you can move in straight on after completion and your family can get to enjoy the landed property straight on. This home right now has 2,500 square feet in terms of its land plot. Build up is approximately about 2,009 plus square feet in totality. There are 4 bedrooms in total. We are in this landed enclave called the Jin Ding Gardens, just right beside Simpang Bedok. Simpang Bedok is a beautiful enclave that is known for its night food, F&B, as well as cafes. This is a little bit like a single look fashion, because right behind us are rows of shop houses that begins into the Simpang Bedok enclave. Right now for Inter-Terraces, minimally you need to have a width of 6 meters, and that's standard. For semi-Ds, that's about 8 meters. Detached homes will be 10 meters onwards. However, the standard kind of Inter-Terrace land size right now usually hovers at about 1,600 plus square feet. This is 2,005 square feet. That cuts into the semi-D range as well at about 38 meters in terms of land depth. Most of the time, Inter-Terraces only have about 25 meters for its land depth to accomplish 1,006 square feet. This stretches all the way towards 38 meters, so you're going to have a very long land that allows you to create different zones for your family. If I were to bring out the landed master plan, in a 2.5 story landed enclave, you can go up to 12 meters for envelope height control. Right now, this is 2-story full on. In future, of course, if you want to add on to 3-story, that's possible. All you need to do is bring your architect and engineers, look at the support pillar structure, reinforce that all the way up to level 3. If you want to go for more square footage, usually what people will do is that they will build a basement if they are doing a full-on rebuild or construction. However, basement costs at least 1.5 to 2 times the cost of above surface costing. Second way that they can do is they can use envelope architecture to build up mezzanine flooring within the 12 meters envelope height control. That can allow you to extend up to 4 levels within your 12 meters. Third way is to go for larger land plots like this home, 2,000 plus square feet. Later, I'll dive in straight on why it might be worth it to buy a bigger land compared to a smaller land. Let's go. You'll notice that everything is already built up to a modern fashion. You have a sliding gate right at the front. It very easily and generously fit in a huge SUV, a Continental car as well. The reason why there are no more landed plots in front of us is because right in front of us is a huge plot for a religious temple, and of course this is a very popular temple right here within the Simpang Bedok region. This forms that single load enclave where towards the back we're elevated against the shop house. Right towards the front there are no more landed homes. So right where we are, when you look up, you'll see basically greenery because there's quite a fair bit of greenery canopy right across the street. Ceiling height is also very generous. This is about 3.8 meters. Level 2 is also about 3.8 meters. So you are hearing like a fair bit of echo when I speak. The reason is because the home is very long in terms of its depth. Marble flooring throughout with 1.2 meters in terms of its width per tile. So there are a totality of 5 tiles all the way from left to right, and that makes it a width of total 6 meters. A lot of inter-terraces are quite dark within if they do not create a skylight for the home. So our clients loves the shop house concept as well. Shop houses usually have ample skylight, this interlinked bridge right in between. What you can do with this part, number one, is you can future-proof this home to build up a lift. Lifts that comes with different shapes and sizes. This fits in towards the most compact version of the lift. It's important to bring in your architects to do up submission or for A&A and submit to BCA for approval before you kickstart the lift phase. But usually lifts cost within 120 to 150,000. So this allows you to build up the lift all the way from level 1 towards level 2 and potentially level 3 in future. Secondly, what you can do is that once the lift is built up, you can actually cordon this entire part with a full glass panel. Starting from here, the glass panel can go with this L shape all the way towards that angle. Once the lift is done, this can be an internal garden that you can build up with a green wall right over here, all the way shooting up towards the top level. So this can be a very beautiful green wall garden. Let's say you don't need the lift. This can be an additional study room with an additional helper's room right here. So this corner here allows you to build up a helper's room. Because we have a high ceiling in nature, you can use the top hung windows concept to have openings, and this can be a nice helper's room. And then when you come to this portion, this can be an extremely huge glass with a sliding panel glass version for a built-in study room because you have 38 meters to play with. Even after I less off 7.5 meters from the front, you're left with close to about 29 meters within the home to play around with. This creates a lot of flexibility on what you want to do in terms of renovation, in terms of carpentry work, if you want to flush carpentry. Coming back to this portion, let's talk about the pricing in terms of a smaller towards a bigger land. Now, when we look for landed properties, it's very important to distinguish the land size versus the build-up area, because what you're buying technically are both things. But most importantly, when you go for valuation with the banks, they look at the land size to calculate the land appreciation valuation costing. The build-up structure is important because that is the key consideration for buyers on whether they need to rebuild or permit additional costs. But the land size is something that once you purchase, you cannot change. So assuming both land, one is at 1,600, one is at 2,500, what's going to happen is that assuming over the next 8 years, appreciated by, for example, $500 per square foot, 1,600 square feet land will mean a $800,000 quantum appreciation. However, $500 per square foot land appreciation on a 2,500 square feet land will mean a $1.25 million quantum appreciation. So what we're trying to say is that if you have the ability to go for a bigger land plot in terms of a quantum budget right now, then go for a bigger land and let nature take its course to see you through appreciation with your big land compared to a small land. If your quantum budget doesn't allow you the luxury to go for a bigger land, then go for a small land, which is fine, but most importantly is to get into the landed market. This landed home is asking for $4.8 million. When you come for viewing, we have already done up all the comparisons of Inter-Terraces semi-D homes in Cat 1 to Cat 4 series within this enclave. So I'm going to show you the front bedroom first. Our owners have actually used the entire front space to make into their gigantic master. There's 2 openings towards the side and 1 opening internally. So this is really like the shop house kind of concept. So if you were to turn around with me, this allows you to see internally into your airwell portion. And just imagine this will be made into a green wall, and I'll just step out a little bit to share with you. What you can also do with this zoning is that you can bring your architect and then level up this portion with support pillars, create this part. If you don't need the green wall to extend all the way to level 2, limit your green wall to just level 1, add in a nice mezzanine level right here. This can be a nice zone for your kids to have their open study area within level 2, a piano zoning as well, or a mini family zoning after dinners over the weekends. So this can be a great additional space by just removing this part, leveling up this portion. So coming back to the master room, this master has 3 zonings. Firstly will be a resting area. If you can just visualize together with our motion graphics team, what you can do is that this can be a full-on spectrum of a study desk region, all the way flanking from the left towards the right corner. It can also act as a double up for your dressing table top. Towards this direction, you have another blank wall here for additional storage needs. So if you want to build out a full-on bookcase, this is the perfect place for you to do so. In terms of a wardrobe space, it's already well taken care of with this full walk-in wardrobe feature. It interlinks towards this portion, towards your ensuite as well. Actually a true 360 degrees walk-through within your master room. Looking at the 3.8 meter ceiling height, it allows you additional window panels right towards the top, and that brings in additional brightness into the home. Now these 2 rooms, they are huge in nature. The single load really allows you to look the unblocked view towards the back, because most of the time if you're within a very tight landed enclave, what will happen is that once I open towards the back, I'm going to see the bedrooms of my neighbors on the landed row behind me. And this is a very rare sight because you get to look towards the unblocked version of Simpang Bedok. So as mentioned, all the rooms are en suite on level 2. Room is huge as well. You can put in a king bed. Wardrobes are all fully done. Side tables are catered for. These are rooms that your kids can enjoy immediately. In fact, the carpentry is only 2 years old. Mirror image of the other room. Similarly, you get to enjoy the unblocked view towards the back. Let's head back to level 1 where I'll show you more towards the back of the home. Let's go. Most of the time, under the stairway, people will try to build up a full-on storage space, provided that this is an opaque kind of staircase. But if you notice, this kind of staircase design is a single spine staircase, see-through effect for light to penetrate downwards, and that brings the living room additional brightness from the skylight at the top. But what you can do with this triangular space is that you can create like a cascading bookshelf all the way from this corner towards the top. That will allow you to maximize the 3.8 meter ceiling height. Try to visualize a triangle bookshelf here. Can allow your kids to sit down here and use this as their reading zone, and this will then add a lot more features within this home. And then as we come to this portion with the dining space all the way towards the dry and wet kitchen, there's a lot more ways that you can design this home into a full spectrum home. You can actually pump in an additional island if you want to, provided let's say you don't need to create that helper's room that I was talking about. So this portion right here can be actually a full-on island bandwidth, and then you can shift this entire dining space right towards this region here. So this can be a full-on dining zone for hosting, and of course within the whole backdrop right here, this can be your additional dry kitchen area for oven, steamer, coffee machine, and then you can leave this entire space for additional dry kitchen pantry work. Let me bring you towards the wet kitchen first. And this is the stairway that I was talking about. So if you want to gain entry into Simpang Bedok directly, walk down the steps, and that will bring you towards the back row, and then you can access towards Simpang Bedok. I'm going to pop over here. This is the level 1 granny's room. It enjoys like a Jack and Jill ensuite, sharing with your level 1 kitchen. That completes the tour for the entire level 1. Last but not least, the key to owning a huge land, as mentioned within the video, is to allow nature to take its course in terms of appreciation. Let that big land plot bring your quantum price upwards at a faster rate. So if you want to have a look at this place, give a call to our listing managers, Wen Ping and Alan. Their numbers are right down below. And my name is Melvin Lim, PropertyLimBrothers. As always, happy to show the place. Okay, A cam, B cam. I'm bringing you to a 2.5 store. I'm bringing you to a 2 store. 下雨了。Okay, I think 你们躲起来在门后面比较好，因为我会转来转去。At about 38 meters in terms of， 是不是 38 啊？讲还是不讲呢 ？All clients have created. I think 你们站这边。30%。OK， 不要紧。不，我们去2楼先。OK， 那你们上去，等我上来。I think 你站那边会比较好。站进去啊。